So what I'd like to do is tell you how to do that. I want to give you at least 10, well, it's more than that, but 10 main points on how to get your shit together. So if you are funded, you got your, at least you got a couple things in a row, right? A few ducks in a row. But if you find yourself undisciplined, paycheck to paycheck, or even worse, you're in debt and paycheck to paycheck, then that's really who this video is for. I mean, most of you have heard this before. I mean, it's nothing that's like brand new or earth shattering. Okay. But that's the thing, man. Like, some people look for the magic sauce. I mean, there's some magic sauce in trading for sure, but in success elsewhere, it really comes down to just a few main ideas and actually sticking to it. All right, how to get your shit together. Number one, this kind of goes in order to an extent. I don't think the order really matters. I have the secret sauce. I give out everything, dude. I don't have anything hidden from you. All right, number one, establish a goal or goals. Okay. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Seneca. But both of those sayings are from Seneca. Okay, so you have to sit down, you have to figure it out. What do you want to do? Do you want to get funded? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to learn how to trade? Whatever people's goals are. Get married, whatever. Okay, all that kind of shit. You need to figure out what it is. What exactly it is do you want? Is it one thing? Is it 5 things? Whatever the case is. But either way, you need to have that goal written down. If you want to put a date on it, you can. I typically don't. What are those goals? Is it get funded? Put it on a sheet of paper. Is it to, keep learning the skill set of how to trade? Then write it down. But establish a goal or multiple goals. Number 2, create a plan / roadmap on how to achieve those said goals. Create a plan, create a roadmap on how to achieve those goals. If you want to lose weight, then create that roadmap. Oh, what's good, G? I'm going to work out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to cut out sugar. I'm going to make sure to like John's streams every single day to get into the habit. Or if your plan is to save money, then it's like, okay, well, if I get paid every 2 weeks, then I'll take $100 or $200 out of every paycheck, set it to the side. I'll cut out Uber Eats and shit, Create that plan, create that roadmap. Number 3, lock in small wins to build momentum. A lot of people really will look at a goal and think this is astronomically high. Oh, this is impossible. This is way too far out of my reach. And maybe to an extent there might be some accuracy to that. But how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. How do you build a house? 1 brick at a time. The point is not jumping from 0 to 100, right? Oh, I want to get funded. Well, you can't get funded in one trade, right? Especially with Top Step, there's consistency rules, right? So you have to say, okay, I'll work on taking good trades. I'll work on taking partials and building that account until we can get to 3K, 5K, 6K, or whatever it is for your combine or challenge, whatever. Get those small wins and build momentum. Okay, you can't really, you probably could, but in a very logical sense, you can't lose 10 pounds without first losing 5. You can't lose 5 without first losing like 1 or 2. So you have to work in those small steps, okay, and get those small wins to build momentum. A small win could be something like waking up on time. It could be something like printing off charts, which I tell you guys to do and you don't fucking do. Or I tell you to read, you don't fucking read. All right, so you got to lock in those small wins. Number 4, take occasional breaks to avoid burnout. Take occasional breaks to avoid burnout. So in Atomic Habits by James Clear in Atomic Habits, I think he calls it the valley of disappointment. That first, few days or weeks, or maybe even the first couple of months where you're not getting the results that you want, and you're doing things very intensely. But if you don't, take breaks, then you're going to run into burnout. If you're not getting the results that you want as soon as possible, then you're more likely to quit. And you don't want to do that. So take occasional breaks to avoid burnout. If you're trying to lose weight, have a cheat meal every once in a while. If you're trying to save money, then, go out and have a nice dinner or some shit every once in a while to kind of lose that tension. You know what I mean? And avoid burnout. Number 5, practice gratitude at least once per week. All right. Gratitude is pretty much going to go in every how-to video that I would make, because, gratitude is important, right? So you might think, well, if I'm in debt, if I'm overweight, if I don't know how to trade, if I can't do all this shit, what do I have to be grateful for? And there's a lot of things that you can be grateful for, because there's always going to be somebody else that is in a better position than you, sure. But there's also people that are in a worse position than you. Not that I would do comparison like that, but just know that you have it better than somebody else. So there's at least a few things to be grateful for. And I won't get into all the science and shit behind it, but it's good to be grateful for things, okay? Number 6 is find people who support you, avoid those who don't. All right? Find people who support you and avoid those who don't. I was thinking about this the other day when I was walking around. I was thinking about this, and if you looked at my story yesterday, I was slightly egotistical. I ain't gonna lie to you. I basically said, look, I nailed the high and the low to the minute. My precision is unmatched. You can't beat that. You can't improve on that. You know what I mean? That quite literally was perfection for that session, which I don't do very often, but it happened, right? And so what did you hear me say? The MLM, fucked up because they had the GOAT. So basically I called myself the greatest of all time, right? That's a bit egotistical, but I proved it. Bro, who is more precise than that? You show them to me. And no one in the MLM industry is. I'm sorry, but it's just not there. If it was, they would show it. Right? So when I was thinking about that, and I was thinking to myself, that's crazy that level of accuracy is possible. And the fact that I was able to do that yesterday, or 2 days ago, whatever it was, yesterday, 2 days ago, you would think that growing a community on YouTube, getting funded, being a trader, being a mentor, all this shit, you would think that your friends and your family would want to join you in doing what you're doing, right? Oh yeah, man, he hasn't had a fucking job in 5 years. Man, that's fucking badass. I'm going to work all the time, but John just sits on his ass at home. I want to see if he can teach me how to do shit, right? And you would just think that your friends and your family would also trade if that's what you do and if that's what you're good at. But the fact is that they don't. They don't. It's not strange to me anymore, but people around you are unlikely to support you. If they do, great. But most of the time, they're not going to. And the people that do support you are more likely going to be strangers. So think about that for a second. Where are all of you from? You can drop your city in the chat if you want, or the country if you want. But you guys are from all over the world. There's only a couple of you that are from Houston, or maybe a few from Texas. Most of you probably are from the US or Germany, right? And there's a few, others here and there. But you'll notice there's not a abundant number of people from Houston doing this. Pennsylvania, that's USA. Germany, Mexico, Augsburg. I don't know where that's at. That sounds like Canada. I mean, that sounds like Australia, but I could be wrong. Canada is rich. New York City. I'm sorry to hear that. 2020. Wisconsin. Josh is from Houston. AU is from NYC. Sorry to hear that. Naruto's from Chicago. Sorry to hear that too. Flacco's from Illinois. Alex is from Dallas, I think. Oh, Germany. Gotcha. Munich, Las Vegas, Pennsylvania, Montreal, Canada. Right. That's what I'm saying. You guys are from all over the place, and very few are my friends and family, you know? It's crazy. So that just goes to show that strangers are going to support you more than your friends. Okay. All right. Number 7, to get a little bit more specific on how to get your shit together. Get out of debt, save money, learn skills. All right. That's kind of a 3-in-1. Get out of debt, save money, learn skills. Okay. Now that might be hard for some of you. Debt is a bitch because there's interest involved. There's late fees involved. You know, there's bills and mortgages and car payments and insurance and dental and all this. There's Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff, right? Phone bill, all that shit. And it's hard to get out of debt, but you got to figure it out, man. There's the Dave Ramsey baby steps. It's like, I forget what they are. It's like save $1,000, pay off your lowest amount of debt first, debt snowball, you know, whatever, things like that. You know, there are methods out there that will help you. So simultaneously get out of debt, pay that debt off, start saving money, putting money away, and learn skills at the same time. That's what you're doing here, right? You're learning how to read the market with precision that's fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm sorry, bro, but listen, you ever tweet the minute of the high and the minute of the low, and I promise you, your ego is, you will be challenged, okay? You will be fucking challenged, I promise. Anyway, number 8, read as often as you can, okay? Read as often as you can. There's a lot of things that I can teach you, but I can't teach you everything. I'm just one person. I'm limited in my teaching ability, in the knowledge of the things that I know. You know, I'm not a super genius expert in everything, okay? I know some people who are, you know, but outside of them, you got to have multiple mentors. And I've always said that. So read as often as you can. I give you guys book recommendations. I have a page on Instagram that's public, right? The Wall Shelf. So you guys always have free resources to go look at. All right. So I've been trying to get you to read, and you refuse because you hate me and you hate yourself. Number 9, eat right, work out. Now, me saying this is probably not the best, you know, person to hear it from. I mean, I ate half a pizza and a whole box of mac and cheese yesterday. So, full disclosure, all right, it was good as fuck. But the point is, when I do eat right and I do work out, I feel way better and I sleep way better too. And I typically perform better when I actually eat right and work out. Okay, so I won't spend too much time on that. It's basically hypocritical for me to literally eat like half a pizza for lunch, an entire box of mac and cheese for dinner, and then tell you to eat right, you know? So, full disclosure there. But that's what I would recommend to do, is to eat right and work out. Number 10, this is the easiest one. It means get proper sleep. Actually, yeah, let me change that in case you screenshot it. All right. So there you have it. 2025 is right around the corner. How to get your shit together, man. Establish a goal or goals. Create a plan and a roadmap on how to get there. Lock in small wins to build momentum. Take occasional breaks to avoid burnout. Practice gratitude at least once per week. Could be more than that, but at least at a minimum once per week. Number 6, find people who support you. Avoid those who don't, or at least don't take them seriously. All right. Number 7, Get out of debt, save money, learn skills. Number 8, read as often as you can. Number 9, eat right, work out. And number 10, get proper sleep. I can't promise success in anything, all right? But I really believe if you focus on these 10, it's really like 12 or 13 because of number 7. But if you focus on these points here, I fully believe that you will be in a much better place 6 months, a year, especially like 2 or 3 years later. You have to set yourself up for the future. You have to stop living for today and start setting yourself up for tomorrow. And tomorrow just doesn't mean Saturday because it's Friday. Tomorrow means like next year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Hopefully that will help you. This is a very, very good starting point. But if you think about it, I've given you resources on everything in here. Goal setting, we have a video on that. Gratitude, I've shared gratitude journals before. Find people who support you. We have the SMS community here for $25 a month, right? I mean, come on. Learn skills. I teach you how to trade. I teach you some about Stoic philosophy. I teach you, or I give you all these book recommendations, book of the month, all that stuff. And then get proper sleep, bro. You know, sleep at least 8 hours, or try to, you know, do your best to get 8 hours of sleep. All right, that 4 hours a night shit is not sustainable. I've done it, and I'm not going to ever do that again. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think this is a solid formula? I didn't use ChatGPT. I thought of this about an hour ago, you know, because again, based on that message that I got from, well, there's 2 different messages. One person asked me to bring back Philosophical Friday. Number 2, the message was like a really long paragraph about how, you know, that they're struggling and they, you know, need help. And a lot of people need help. I mean, you know, and I'm not even trying to be funny or talk shit, but it's true. A lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of people do need help. And I'm doing my best here, chat. I mean, come on. I'm live here 4 times a week for free. That's 4 hours a week. That's 16 hours of my teaching and my bullshit a month for free of charge. You understand? Like, what else could I possibly do? Book page for all the books. Book of the month. I've been running that for like 3 years now. I mean, literally, what else can I do? I call trades. I give bias. Speaking of bias, let's go over the dollar index.